Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie Couple Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest in movie news and pop culture. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And on today's show, we're talking about changes coming to Disneyland parks and downtown Disney.
John Watts exits Fantastic Four.
And of course, it's Saturday, so spoilers all the way for episode 5 of Moon Knight. You guys, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday,
Welcome.
everyone.
Hope
so
you guys
make
are
sure
having
you
a
got
great day.
your beverage of choice, whether it be coffee, water, or liquid IV.
Water for today. Because, and I don't know if this is like a thing that connects to why you have nosebleed. I tend to, trigger warning, because we're going to talk about the rest stuff that comes out of your body when you have a cut. So earlier today, I had a nosebleed, and it was like, I'm probably being a little overdramatic because I cannot stand the sight of my own blood, not other people's. Like, if this one was having if his nose was bleeding profusely, I'd be like, oh my gosh.
Or if I even got a bad cut.
I wouldn't have no problem, washing it, help bandage it, whatever. But if it's me and it's the slightest paper cut, he's seen me just like boo-hoo over the littlest thing, asking if I need to go to the hospital. He's like, are you kidding me? So when I was doing my makeup earlier, I just like nosebleed straight out of the nose. I've never had nosebleed like that. I didn't hit my head or anything like that. But naturally, I went on the internet and looked up what causes nosebleeds. And it's like the worst thing you can do. It's the
Don't
worst
ever look up anything like that on the internet. Because one of the things that will always be on there is cancer.
Yes! And I was like, oh my god, I was just at the doctor. What do I do? And I kept on, how many times did I ask you? It's still bleeding. What should I do?
I was like, and I'm sitting here just take a Kleenex, wad it up, and just shove it up there.
Yeah, so like
I'm very much along the lines of I got a cut. We'll rub some dirt in it.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
So I stuffed a tissue up there and it was fine. And they also said that one of the main causes of nosebleed, usually it's the dry climate, the dry air, and since we live in California, it's pretty dry in California. Like, maybe that's why I never had a nosebleed, really, because I lived in Taiwan, which is quite humid, Florida, which is also quite humid, and prior to living in California. So maybe that's why, but I decided that maybe I should put away the coffee and instead actually hydrate with some water. And you guys have heard us talk about Liquid IV before. We love them. We use them. We're actually almost all done with all the stuff that they sent us. So we wanted to share that with you guys today. The flavor that I have is passion fruit, which is the one that you have.
The passion fruit right here. And I am actually drinking some watermelon, which is absolutely delicious.
That's my favorite one. Watermelon is my favorite one.
Oh, and we've actually got a super chat from Marvin Martin and a subscriber. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank you. I don't know why the thingy didn't...
Why we got no sound going on?
Notify me of the sound.
Navi's on sabbatical because soon she's going to be going to the vet.
Yeah.
So she has to do a little
more
operation.
about that in a second. We'll give you guys all the updates. But back to Liquid IV. This is what the little pouches look like. We just usually throw a couple into our backpack when we go to Disneyland or if we're going on a hike or something like that. Because you guys know your girl doesn't like to drink water. So
need something a little bit more flavorful.
If you're interested in Liquid IV, they come in little boxes that you can get, or they come in a bigger bag if you plan to drink a lot of them. You can create your own bundle. Just go to the actual Liquid IV website, which I believe is liquidiv.com, and you can use our code, The Movie Couple. It gives you 25% off of your purchase plus free shipping, which is like, I was like, 25% off, okay, cool. Free shipping?
Always helpful. And also, I do want to thank Roy, because Roy got some Liquid IV and got the cotton candy, and it's awesome.
How is it?
Good to know.
Man.
Good to know. That's probably going to be the next one I try.
I think they're done with cotton candy, because I think that was for the festival, like Coachella and all that stuff. So if they're not out, we'll buy some. With our own code.
We'll go out and try. We'll try and use it.
All right, guys. So yeah, if you're interested, go to the website. Use the link is actually everything is in the description. So if you want to do that, just don't forget to put the code, The Movie Couple, in there so you can get your discount. And then before we go ahead and talk about everything else, and before we get to Marvin Martin's super chat, we do want to give you guys a quick update on Navi. You guys know that Navi runs our lives. We don't run our own lives. Everything revolves around Navi. So a while ago, Navi had to have a pretty major operation in the ways of, like, there was a huge growth kind of over her left shoulder blade. The vet didn't like that at all, and it was actually an emergency surgery where we dropped her off. to get checked up, and he came out and he's like, she's staying with me overnight. We're doing the operation today. And I'm like, what? I wasn't prepared.
I know we weren't emotionally prepared at all, but he came back out and he was like, yeah. And apparently what had happened...
He took a biopsy and he took even like the syringe of what he drew out of the bump, and he's like, this doesn't look good to me.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, but apparently what had happened was something had formed around the microchip, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and he was like, you know what, you guys take very good care of her, we're just going to take out the chip. And it looks like now some more growths have grown on her body. We're going to be taking her in
There's 2, maybe 3 tumors.
So,
maybe 3.
Well, let's not say tumors, because tumors are a little bit more...
Growths.
They could actually be like a cyst or something like that, but we won't know.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
He won't know until they actually do a biopsy, but that is our guess, and we're going to be taking her in May 9th. So thoughts and prayers for Navi on May 9th.
Yes, please send all the positive vibes and keep her in your thoughts, because like we just hate little dogs. She's
and Black Loki.
15 pounds, nothing.
I want to say I saw your Instagram post of
Black
Navi.
Loki.
It is so cute.
Thank you so much. Just let's all the good vibes, good healing vibes to Navi, and positive vibes, and that those tests come back all negative for everything that she's being tested. So and the 2 growths that we found, it's kind of like sucks because they're not in the same area. So as far as operation and healing goes for her, it's gonna suck because
she's like, I can't lay on this side. I can't lay on this side.
On over the right shoulder blade, and the other one's like kind of like, it's not really the stomach. It's kind of like the side right under the ribcage. So, in any case, that is the update on personal stuff. And here's somebody to say hello.
Just so everyone can say hi to Miss Navi.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I can't take it. Why are you so cute, boo-boo?
So, you're getting lots of loves from everyone, Navi.
Oh my gosh. All right. Ricardo Ramos says, prayer chain for Navi.
Yay.
And wasted. Oh, no. I lost it. Oh, RMD Collective says, I got passion fruit and watermelon. Nice. So we have those flavors. 2 good ones. So good. Not too sweet. And we're going to be definitely going to take these to Celebration with us as well. Okay. Somebody who just wrote, what is this comment? Where is it?
Huh?
Travel Spin says, what causes a paper cup? WebMD cancer. Never look up anything on the just don't do it.
Or take everything that you read on WebMD with a grain of salt.
Literally.
Be like, okay, I'm pretty sure that this wasn't caused by cancer. So what else could it be?
It's just so like that's like cancer. Like I was like, well, let's not go from 0 to 100 here. All right, you guys, we are talking about a bunch of stuff today, but mainly we are going to be talking about spoilers for episode 5 of Moon Knight. That is coming up later on during the show. But right now, we're going to go ahead and get to our super chat from Marvin. I went to put it up, but I forget that I can't really do that. This one is from Marvin Martin, who says,
Thank you so much, Marvin.
Oh, Lee Robert Bardugo's Language of Thorn, WTF, Wild AF. Lee Bardugo sounds familiar. Why does that our author name sounds familiar?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look her up real quick.
Excellent.
So, Marvin Martin, if this is your first time to our live stream, often gives us suggestions.
Marvin Martin leaves suggestions.
Yeah, sorry. You tell them.
So, what Marvin Martin loves to do, and he gives us so many awesome recommendations. So these are some recommendations that Marvin has left for us. If you want to go back and check out some of our other live streams, there are some amazing recommendations. A lot of them do involve unicorns because our little Wendy here loves some unicorns. But also, we do have a section in our Discord for suggestions. So if you want to be a part of the discussion, if you want to be a part of all of the awesome topics that we talk about here on our live stream or just in our Movie Bunch community, you can go over to our Discord. Wendy will be dropping an invite in there in just a few seconds, even though I now distracted her from the main purpose why I started to
go ahead, just finish it. You gotta when you do that, you gotta finish.
Go off into a rant.
Tell them the rules before I even invite them.
While you are there, we do have one simple rule, and that is be nice. We want everyone. We want to form a welcoming. Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, no, finish what you're saying.
I will. I was gonna go back. But we want to form a community that's inclusive, that's welcoming, where people feel comfortable sharing their opinions and they don't feel afraid to be like, well, if I say something, someone's going to shoot me down. if you love something, we want to hear about it. If you don't like something, we want to hear about it. But be nice. And if there's any respectful, and if there's any kind of hate speech whatsoever, you're out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to see any like homophobic BS. I don't want to see it. Not racist stuff. I don't want to see any of that. Any of that, you're banned forever.
You can save that. You can go to Twitter.
You can do that on like first of all, don't. But secondly, if you have to do that, like our platform is not for that.
Yes.
So go ahead and join us on Discord if you would like. Here is the link. I do also want to say we do have a lot of spoiler channels in our Discord. For example, there's one that we just created for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There's also one for Moon Knight. So if you feel like you're going to get to see Doctor Strange later and you're worried about spoilers, simply mute the notification on that channel so you don't get them popping up on your phone. And with that, going back to Lee Bardugo, the reason why she sounds so familiar, thank you so much to Marvin Martin again for your super chat and your suggestion. She is the author of the Six of Crow / Shadow and Bone.
Oh,
so that's definitely
going
to be on. That's definitely going to be on the list. Okay, so we do have another super chat before we get into news, and then we're gonna get to Moon Knight. The second super chat also comes from Marvin Martin, who says, Marvin. Speaking of cancer, what would be... I don't have my eyes in today, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have my contacts. I call them my eyes because otherwise I can't see. What would be the bad guy's name in a politically correct version of the X-Files? Answer, Cancel Man.
Oh.
Instead of the Cigarette Man?
Instead of Cancer Man. I thought, because that's what they called him, I thought, right?
I thought they called him the Cigarette
because
Man.
He kept on smoking. Yeah. And it's funny. Apparently what happens is with that... I remember here... This might be wrong. I just want to... Something that I heard is the fact that he's obviously not really a smoker. But, so they had these fake cigarettes that he would smoke. And one day, someone put a real cigarette in there and just kind of like a gag.
Yeah.
And while on set, he takes a big old inhale. He's like... and...
Cigarette smoking man / cancer man, says MK. Thank you, MK.
I just remember hearing that in a... what is it called? A behind the scenes of making of the X-Files.
I see. Oh, well, there... Cancel Man, it's kind of funny because I know some people like cancel. I don't believe that there's like a cancel culture. I believe it's more of like, you said something, you got called out, and here are the consequences of your action.
Yeah, and both
like
sides.
And also like there are some points where people kind of jump to things and they jump on somebody and they dogpile on them, and then you look at the very basis of it, you're like, oh, it was nothing. It was nothing. So there's I get what people are saying. Cancel Man is kind of funny. Okay, should we move on to the first topic?
Yes.
For today,
we got a few little news flashes that we want to do before we jump into Moon Knight.
Okay,
so guys... like for example, Mohammed. I want to comment on your chat. I mean, on your chat.
You want to point out his comment?
His comment. That was the word I was looking for.
Where is it?
Third from the bottom.
Okay.
I want to get to that because it's a big topic. But first, let's get into some news. Then we'll get into Moon Knight.
Muhammad's question was, do you think they're going to show Jake in the last episode? So we'll definitely get to that. So Muhammad, hang on to your questions, stay tuned, and we're definitely going to get to that. Okay, so and I agree with this. I think where is it? Wasted Poe, just about cancel culture real quick. I personally think it's both. People are sometimes canceled for legitimate reasons, but something people are just out for. Sometimes I think people are just out for blood, and they just get off on ruining someone else. And there is some instances that I've seen where I was just like, well, okay, come on, like that's not. But yeah, so I get what you're saying.
And honestly, cancel culture's been around for a really long time.
It's just now that we have social media, so people are actually noticing it. Yeah. I
mean, what do you call it when you don't let a certain group of people into your store? That's a form of cancel culture.
It's called discrimination or racism, depending on the situation.
Okay, yeah, but
let's talk about the latest from Disney. Sorry, there's dust in here. From Disneyland, changes that are coming because we are both big theme park goers. In fact, we actually got these awesome matching shirts from the parks. I like they took the Doctor Strange movie poster essentially, but they kind of did like a comic stylized art to it.
I love it.
And this glows in the dark. We haven't tested it out yet, but we're gonna wear it to see the Avatar, the Way of Water, or the Way of Water trailer preview, so we're gonna see if our shirts glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay, news from Disneyland Resort. So there are changes, upcoming Pixar plans, there's foodie news, and more according to the Disney Parks official blog. So, you guys know that there is a huge hotel that is attached to California Adventure. I think it's called the Grand Californian. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry. The Disney Paradise Pier Hotel.
Well, the one that's attached to California Adventures is the Grand California Hotel and Spa.
Oh.
But the Paradise Pier Hotel is one that is close by.
Yeah, that's the one with the.
That was the one that we actually stayed in with my family years ago.
We had a cute little like mini suite. It was nice. So they are gonna do a transformation with an all new theme. They're going to kind of weave all the Pixar arts in there. They're gonna make it a comfortable and contemporary setting, and it says here on the blog that guests will gain a new perspective on some of their favorite Pixar worlds and characters through carefully curated artwork and decor that reveals the creative journey of artists who help bring these stories to life. So there are some cool concept arts. Obviously, the big lamp and the Pixar ball are going to be kind of one of the main, art pieces, I guess you can call it. Probably in the lobby as you walk in. There's going to be whimsical moments, welcoming guests. It's already talked about the lamp and stuff like that. So what they're saying is that they are actually not going to be closing the hotel during the transformation. Oh. They're actually going to leave it open, which to me feels...
Well, honestly, you can't really shut down the entire hotel just to do a nice retheming and redecoration of your property, because that would lose a lot of revenue. So it makes sense that you would leave it up and you would be doing this transformation. But I always love when hotels, theme parks start doing updates to their property to make it a little bit more new and fresh, and also to bring in a new crowd. You know, I mean, if it's the same look over and over and over for decades and decades and decades, people are going to get bored. They're not going to want to come back. Yeah. But they're like, oh, remember we had a great time at Disneyland, 20 years ago? Well, they've actually just finished remodeling it. Let's go there again and have a whole new set of memories of Disneyland.
People will book just specifically to see the new theme.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, are we going to stop in and look? Sure. Are we going to book a night at the hotel? Probably not. Probably not. But that's exciting news nonetheless, especially for out-of-town visitors. And then for Downtown Disney news, this is super exciting because they're kind of doing a whole overhaul of Downtown Disney. Unfortunately, they took out the AMC theater, which I thought was kind of silly. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought it was kind of cool to have a movie theater there. But I guess they have one over at Garden Walk, which is not that far away. So I guess it's kind of okay. But I just think, like, you go do a little dinner, do a little movie, do a little shopping. Like, I thought that was the perfect combination, but maybe that's just how it is in my head. But they're adding a lot of food spots there. So what they are bringing, I'm very excited about this. And I don't know why I'm excited, because there's literally one near us.
Almost within walking distance.
Technically two, right? Because there's the original location.
I think they closed one of them down.
Oh, did they? Because COVID. Because nobody was going. But the one in the mall...
Oh, maybe there is.
They kept the one that the mall opened, but there was... Anyways, the restaurant is Din Tai Fung, which you guys probably heard of. It's like all like dim sum stuff, which I'm very, very excited that they're going to put it at Downtown Disney. Hopefully they'll utilize like the text system where you get put on a wait list. They'll text you when your table is ready, so you can like go and shop and look around, so like the waiting doesn't feel as long. So very excited. And again, I don't know why I'm so excited, because I'm acting like I've never been to a Din Tai Fung before, if there isn't one just like, less than half an hour drive from me.
Yeah.
But I'm excited nonetheless, because the food is excellent. And then they are going to also be bringing in this restaurant called Paseo and Centrico. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And that is going to take over the Cattell and Yuva Bar location. The one of the things that I thought was interesting is, don't they already have a Mexican restaurant there?
Yeah, they do.
At Tortilla Joe's?
It's right across the street from the bowling alley. Right across the street. The walkway from the bowling alley.
I say this as a person who really, really enjoys Mexican food. I just want a variety of different foods. So if you're going to have two Mexican restaurants when you could have had like, then are they going to keep Tortilla Joe's?
Yeah.
Like, then you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's
they might take. I mean, honestly, a lot of this stuff is. They didn't really say what they're going to be taking out, what they're going to be replacing. They did mention that they are going to also be updating the New Orleans the Jazz Kitchen,
yeah.
Which I'm a little bummed about because honestly, I liked having such a strong
New
Orleans vibe
yes.
going on in that
with
area.
With the iron gates, and the concept art looks very modern.
Yeah, and I'm not too fond
and
of
it. looks cold, and it just looks too modern. I think it loses the cool vibe that the current Jazz Kitchen has.
Yeah.
So, like, I am all for renovation and, like, you know, giving something, like, a little fresh approach. But you've completely taken away the heart of and soul of, like, this is New Orleans flavor.
Yeah, and while you're there,
iron, yeah, and then they're taking it all away. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I'll wait until I see it in person and see.
And maybe try some food there.
Yeah, maybe try some food. And for everybody who are big fans of Earl's sandwiches, they took that away when they took away the AMC theater as well. But they are gonna bring it back in a sort of a way. They're gonna bring it back as a walk-up, pop-up location for a limited of time beginning later this year. So I am not sure how long it's going to stay, but if you miss Earl of Sandwiches, or if you haven't been to Earl Sandwiches, and you get to be at Downtown Disney at any point, give it a try. The sandwiches are bomb diggity there. And then finally, some Mickey Toontown news on the blog here. They started the groundbreaking on it. That's kind of it. So hopefully, we will be able to see,
I cannot
all
wait
new in
for
2023.
I cannot wait for Mickey's Toontown to open because then we'll get a new trackless ride for Mickey's Runaway Railroad. I was like, I know it was a railroad something.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them to reopen Toontown in 2023.
Yeah. What is this comment? Chris Braxton says, Wendy cleaned up. Where's she going tonight? Oh, that makes me sound like I don't care. Wendy, you look like trash 50 million other times when you're on the street.
You look beautiful, my love.
Look, I don't really love... This is what COVID's taught me. Living in a pandemic taught me this. That I don't really enjoy... I used to enjoy putting on makeup. And now, because of the pandemic, since you're at home all day, no one's seeing my face. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? The only thing that I will usually put in, if I don't do makeup, as in foundation, concealer, or whatever, I will at least always do eyebrows because I don't really have any. And obviously skincare. If I do anything to my face, 100%, it's always skincare. 80% there's going to be eyebrows. That's about it. Oh man.
Well, and also,
no, I'm not going anywhere tonight. This is it, guys.
We're going to be playing some D&D with friends online tonight, but
that's about it.
This is going to be it's a session
game.
0 that we're still trying. I'm still trying to teach some new friends how to play.
Yes.
And I'm still a little nervous because I'm not the most experienced DM, but I'm excited.
You got this. You got this. I've played multiple games where you've DM'd. You're fantastic.
Oh, why, thank you, my love. Oh, and MK, thank you for the correction. It's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. So, but yeah. Oh.
It's the same one that they have in Florida, right?
Yep,
I'm excited.
I'm so excited to see it.
Yes. Okay. Let's see what... I'm just going through the chat to see what some of you guys were saying.
And we do have a question. Oh crap, where'd it go? RMD Collective, are you guys doing anything for May the 4th?
So May the 4th is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we probably should. We will, you know what?
For our live stream.
Yeah, we'll have a pre-pro and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys on May the 4th. I'm sure there's going to be news that come out that we will... some news that'll come out. Obviously, Celebration is later, in May, so they're not going to give too much, but I expect a little something that we can talk about on our live stream for sure. So make sure you guys stay tuned for our May the 4th
and of course,
live stream.
The really big thing that's coming out next week, Doctor Strange.
Yes, Doctor Strange.
So excited.
When does the embargo lift?
I think the embargo lifts.
The day we see it.
I think it. Well, would have to
No,
double
there's
check.
no way. That's too early with the spoilers that they have.
Yeah,
that's too early.
Because from what I hear, there's going to be a ton of
like
spoilers
to think...
and review. I mean, not, tons of like big events that happen. Big. Oh my gosh!
I'd like to think that I just lost my train of thought. I like to think that social embargo will be lifted, as in, like, after the premiere we can tweet out our reaction, but keeping any spoilers under wraps. Like, we don't talk about that. We just talk about, how we felt when we saw the movie, but we're not allowed to talk about that's what I'm guessing, because that's how it normally goes. But if they're trying to keep it secret and keep it safe, then maybe they hold that social embargo for a little bit longer. I don't know. I have to check my email.
But also, we still have some other news that we wanted to hop into.
I'm sorry, yes, and we're already getting to the half-hour mark.
Yep, I mean, so because I want to get to, because I'm really excited to talk about this episode of Moon Knight.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. What the heck? So we, I think it was on Wednesday's live stream, we talked about Justin Lin leaving the Fast franchise, and now we are having news that director John Watts has exited the Fantastic Four. John Watts, if you didn't know, he is the director for Spider-Man No Way Home, and he was the director of Fantastic Four. However, it says here in the interview, in an exclusive via Deadline, that they're saying that the director just needed a break from the superhero realm after completing the trilogy for Spider-Man, and he had expected to make Fantastic Four his next film, but he spent a lot of time doing Spider-Man, so perhaps he needs a little bit of, like, these are big budget movies, big sets, a lot of people asking questions, wanting to put a lot of requests, I think. So, and this is, Spider-Man, especially the last one, even though it's Tom Holland Spider-Man, I would feel like it's a little bit of an ensemble movie because of who else was in the film, and then for him to go be like, okay, now let's start working on a Fantastic Four movie. That's 4 lead characters, plus whoever else we'll see in it. So I can kind of understand. I'm just a little bummed because I really like the way he did the Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise. And I would have liked to see him do this as well, but this is what it is.
And, it's the same thing. I can really understand being like, okay, guys, I am burnt out. I have been working on superhero movies for a really long time. It's been like, 10 years since he's been working on, when Spider-Man Homecoming came out. So it would make sense that he would be very much like, you know what? I want to step back. I want to do like maybe a nice little horror movie. I want to try to do something else to kind of cleanse my palate, so then vacation. I can hop back into it, because it looked like this was very amicable between Disney, Marvel, and John Watts. And also, they say we are excited to work with him in the future. There was word about him being in the next series of Spider-Man movies. They really want him back to do those, which I'm really excited to.
Give the man an X-Men movie, man.
Oh!
Let him have the break and let him work on X-Men.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
But I think he's working on the next series, the next saga of Spider-Man movies. So, and there was word that they are going to be making 3 more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Woo! Which I'm super excited for. I think Tom Holland does an amazing job as Spider-Man. And he does an amazing job as Spider-Man with director
John Watts?
Thank you. John Watts. I was saying John. My brain went to John Wick. I'm like, no, that's not right.
John Wick,
John
assassin,
Watts.
movie director.
So I'm a little bummed about this, but glad that he's taking his necessary break, because you don't want him to burn out, and you don't want it to kind of show that he burned out while in the middle of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because again, we're looking forward to seeing these characters, what Marvel's going to do with them, what story they're going to tell, but we don't want to continue to go on this seemingly endless cycle of like recast. So let's do it right, and if he's, not of the right mindset and he's a little tired, needs a little break from that, understandable. There are also other directors that will be fit for the job, and with Kevin Feige at the helm of all things Marvel, I feel like he's going to reach out to the right person for the job.
And John Watts' next project for Apple TV Plus.
Oh my!
Thank you so much for
Navi.
That was not me.
Navi made us stinky. It's a little stinky in the office. My
my
God, Navi.
Okay, but what? Thank you, MK, for bringing it back up because it was in the article. That John Watt's next project for Apple TV Plus is actually going to have George Clooney and Brad Pitt involved. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and that'll be really cool to see. My God, Navi, you stink.
Okay.
What did you eat?
You have lost lap privileges.
You farted on Daddy's
go.
lap.
Moving
Oh
on
my
to our
gosh.
next topic.
All right, moving on, guys. Give me one
Now that
second.
Navi has
there.
poo-pooed that topic.
No, thanks, Navi. Okay, we know that a lot of you guys are huge fans of these shows right here, so we thought that it was important to bring it up in our discussion today before we dive into Moon Knight talk. So there's some, unfortunately, cancellations for these shows. One is for CW's Legends of Tomorrow. So it's after they're not going to be having an 8th season. And we haven't really been watching the show, so there's not much for me to be able to add to how much I miss these characters. So you guys let us know in the chat. Those of you who are diehard fans that follow the series, do you think without them getting an 8th season, are you obviously not satisfied with the news, but when it comes to an end, do you think the ending will be satisfactory to you?
From what I heard, it was kind of a big cliffhanger.
Oh, no!
For season 7. And honestly, that is one of the things that makes me absolutely livid about some TV shows, especially when they start getting into like season 7, season 8, is that they start trying to, they don't get told that they're canceled until that season is over. And then it's like, oh, by the way, you're not getting another season. And you're like, but we're leaving on a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, give us a conclusion. And I just feel absolutely horrible for anyone who is a huge fan of Legends of Tomorrow because they left them on a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So I wish they could actually somehow be able to wrap it up real quick, make it like a nice little 3 to 4 episode little closure. And then close up these seasons to make it so you have everything nicely wrapped up instead of just like, well, I guess I'm just going to not know the ending to this episode, to this season, the series that I've spent so many hours of my life with.
That kind of sucks. So that was a bit of a, sad news for all the fans of the show, as well as for fans of Batwoman. That's also been canceled after 2 seasons.
2 or 3?
2. I'm sorry, season
wrapped.
3. So they're not getting a 4th season.
So they're not getting season 4.
Yeah. So, from what I heard, people were enjoying, the later seasons of Batwoman. Again, we haven't really fully dived into it, so there's not much we don't have an opinion on how we feel about the show, but we kind of feel for the cast, the crew, because I feel like they're kind of finding out in a similar way. Is like, you wrapped the season, sorry. And it's like, whoa, all right. And I guess that's just how TV works. As well as the show Space Force that has been canceled after 2 seasons. That one, I feel like I think there's moments in the shows that are hilarious that I enjoy, but I didn't connect with it enough to continue watching. Yeah. But I think a lot of people really did enjoy it.
And also, one of the big things is that it had kind of a political connection gimmick going for it. And when that political thing changes, it makes it a lot more difficult to kind of continue that storyline. So I feel like I watched just a couple episodes of it that it takes a lot to be able to, once all of these kind of things changes that your story is attached to, it is very difficult to get that ball moving again.
Yeah.
So, from what I have heard, that is something that they did kind of struggle with in the season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what it says in the article. What one of, I think, Variety's critics was talking about. That it didn't quite have the over-the-top comedy that it had in the first season. It kind of slowed down a bit, and it kind of made it a little bit more like The Office, but not quite not the magic.
They say that because
Parks
it's Steve Carell. Oh, I see.
Parks and Rec.
I see.
So, but if you guys liked it, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us some of the things that you guys loved about it in the comments below. and whether or not you kind of saw this coming or not, on whether or not Space Force was going to get canceled after just 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Of course, Netflix really doesn't go past more than 3 seasons very often.
Netflix. Yeah, I know. I'm still a little salty about the fact that they just out of nowhere decided to cancel Dark Crystal after it's won awards.
Oh, I was so mad about that.
Canceled it. Somebody else pick it up, please. Apple TV Plus. Let's go. I know y'all got money. Let's go. Okay. Should we dive into Moon Knight?
Yes.
Oh,
Moon Knight.
You scared Navi a little
sorry, Navi. Did I make you fart?
Oh my God. No more. Okay, so let's talk about Moon Knight. I forgot to do a thing for Moon Knight, so I'll just put that up there. You guys, Moon Knight episode 5. It's the penultimate episode.
Yep, the one before the season finale.
The one before the season finale. So this has got to be the most heartbreaking episode. For anybody who's watched our reaction, I'm sorry that I cried through basically the whole thing.
This was honestly one of the most just character deep dive episodes of the entire season. I think I would be willing to put this up there with my favorite episode of the entire season.
It's funny. I feel like we had to not think about it, but it's the kind of TV that makes you continue to think about it after the fact. And I know you rewatched a big portion, almost the whole episode.
Yes, I wanted to rewatch it again. I wanted to pick up some of there's so many Easter eggs, and I also love going back and watching some like YouTube videos on Easter eggs that I missed. New Rockstar has a great video on breaking some of those Easter eggs down. And so if you get a chance, go on over to New Rockstar. They have a new one up.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
What were some of the... By the way, guys, spoiler warning. If you haven't watched I just feel like I have to say it. Otherwise, people get mad. They're like, I didn't know. And even though spoiler discussion is literally in the video title, if you haven't watched episode 5 of Moon Knight, we're about to dive into spoilers. So if you don't want things spoiled, we may have to part ways here because we are fully about to dive into it. Hope you are ready. That is enough warning. And here we go. Did you see what sort of Easter eggs did they discuss in the New Rockstars?
They talked a lot. Well, they first broke... I think I kind of want to start from the beginning because the way that the episode first started off was to just give you a little bit of a hint of what's going on in Mark's mind, where you start hearing the rain and the rushing water and the screaming from hell.
Oh my gosh!
And you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then it flashes to Taweret screaming and Mark and Steven screaming, which is a hilarious way to end the previous episode.
Yes.
But I have to start off, I loved Taweret in this episode. If you look at some of the small things, like even like the animation like up on the glass cameras that are behind Taweret, they are reflecting her back. All of the details that are put into the way she looks, the way she talks, the way she moves, the way her little ears go nuts. I love it also. She's like, oh, somebody's here. And she like pulls out her little script and she's just going through the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't have cards for that.
And she's like, even when she's nervous, she's like, okay, I got to get ready for my presentation.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in centuries.
Yeah, and she also noted that out of all the times that she's done this, she's never done it in a psych hospital, a psych ward. So that was interesting to show that it's not her first rodeo. It's been a while since she's done this. But the episode, we thought the last episode, like the second half of it, once we flipped into the psych ward, or the asylum, as the episode 5 is titled, we were like, what all of a sudden are we watching? And the immediate reaction from me was that I thought we were inside his head, but it was really kind of like the afterlife. I even said it in our reaction video talking about you guys in the chat. I was like, the chat was right, the comments, they were all correct, because a lot of you guys were saying that he's between like now and the afterlife. But this was, if you want to talk about character origin development and arcs,
yes,
and watching an actor work,
yes,
this is it, and this is why you get someone like Oscar Isaac who can fully understand these characters, embrace them physically and emotionally, and give it right back to us on screen. I can't imagine how exhausted he felt after that one scene on the streets. And I don't want to jump forward too much, but
because there's other stuff that I want to talk about.
Yes.
Even at the very beginning point.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we
that
kind
scene
of,
was amazing.
Yeah, we mainly for this episode obviously stayed in the asylum and stayed on the boat for the majority part of it. But there was a lot of flashbacks, starting with flashback to us. That's never gonna go away.
Like a bantha.
Like a bantha.
Sorry.
So we start with the caves, and we see young Mark Spector and his brother before dinner going to play in the caves. You know, older brother, little brother. Seems to get along just fine to me, though there was a little bit of like, it's raining, shouldn't we turn back? No, it'll be fine. But it's, you know, the kid's like, it'll be fine, not realizing how dangerous a flash flood could be, especially you're in the caves. So that was just a heart-wrenching right there, just the loss of, you know, a child. The
loss of a brother, loss of a child, but also the fact that they were, the little references that they were giving to Tomb Busters that they had in the episode, to where he wanted to be Dr. Stephen Grant, and he Roro wanted to, his brother wanted to be the sidekick.
Yes.
So I thought that was a great way to start to see one of the things that might start leading to Mark's split in personality, and just the constant flashbacks of just slowly revealing all of this stuff to Steven, because Steven doesn't know any of this. And the way that it was broken down is that you had Steven that was there, was created to believe that he had a caring and loving mother. There was Mark, who was there to deal with the guilt. And there was a third personality to deal with the beating and the punishment that his mother gave him. And those moments, that one moment where you see little Mark like sitting in the corner of his room, and you hear his mother coming, and he does that first change, and he slips into that accent. There's a theory that, he starts cleaning up, but when his mom starts to come over to hit him, he will change again, and it will be Jake.
Yes.
But
and that's a theory, because they didn't show that. So this is, I just want to say, like, it could be true, but it's also in a way speculation. True.
Yes, that is very true. Right now it's just speculation. However, there is that one moment to where after the right before the screaming, you flash back and you see Mark to the asylum talking to Dr. Harrow,
who looks like this,
and he looks like this, and he has that that thing over his nose, the bandage over his nose. Something that they pointed out on New Rockstar is that is the kind of bruise and bandage that a boxer would get, and Jake was a boxer.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Not just a cabbie?
It was either a boxer or Mark was a boxer.
See, it's a
throwback.
I said that during our reaction, and because when he started talking to Harrow during this part, his demeanor and the way he spoke and the slight accent change made me feel like it definitely wasn't Steven.
No.
and it didn't feel like Mark. And Oscar Isaac is a master at distinctly being able to switch at the drop of the hat. That's a fantastic work as an actor. It's not easy to do, because you have to make very distinct, strong, and clear choices.
Yes.
And it's a lot of inner work for actors. So that's why I really think for a brief second we really got to see Jake. Was that confirmed? Not really. Am I speculating and theorizing? Sure. You could call me, doing the whole Mephisto thing again. But I truly feel like that we all witnessed for a brief second someone a little bit different.
And I completely agree. It's right now, it is not confirmed. But yeah, I love seeing that, because his accent was different. It was very much what T.Y. Smith is saying is that it had a little bit more of a New York feel.
Boston, no?
Yeah, well, I think in the comic books he is Boston.
But they can make changes, because obviously they changed Stephen Grant to the Stephen Grant we see in the show from the comics. The comics you guys have mentioned, he was more like a billionaire, almost like Bruce Wayne /
kind of
Tony
a playboy.
Stark. Yeah.
And it's from all of the money that Mark makes from being a mercenary. So I'm kind of like,
imagine that.
I just love the little changes that they're making, the little hints that they're slowly feeding us about Jake. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do in this next episode. Now, right before, after that scene where you see Jake, it looks like he's trying to kill himself. Suicide's
We're gonna use the words unalive, and we're gonna stay away from the S word for trigger warning.
Oh, my apologies.
So, just for future, because we don't really talk about this kind of stuff, so that's never come up until now.
Everything in this is so intense, and Oscar Isaac just does an amazing job. But to kind of continue in the storyline, next when they see Towerette and they're talking to her, the one thing that just made me so excited to hear was when she was talking about, you'd be surprised on how many different planes of existence there are. Oh, like the ancestral plane. And I was like, and we're thinking about, okay,
where else have we heard and found out about the ancestral plane?
Wakanda.
Black Panther.
So they've acknowledged that they are similar, that they're in the same kind of world between worlds between life and death.
Yes.
So, but also there was talk about, maybe in Thor, they're going to be talking about Valhalla.
Yes. So there's a lot of things hinting to it. Before we move too far away from the Jake talk, I do want to go back to Muhammad's comment in chat from earlier. That's why I tapped you, because I didn't want to forget and go too far away from it. His question was, do you think we will see Jake in episode 6? Literally, I thought we would see, technically we did, I guess.
Yeah.
In a way. But to have, distinctively be introduced to Jake, i.e. in the script it says, I am Jake. I don't know at this point, because they could be saving that for the future of Moon Knight or something else. So at this point, my hands are off. I can't even speculate anymore, because I don't know. A part of me, 20% thinks yes. The other 80%, I feel like they might just, because it's only one last episode left, they still have to free Khonshu, right? Khonshu. They have to catch us up to what is happening inside that pyramid. Do they unleash Amit or not? Or do we stay in the asylum? There's a lot to
right. There's still a lot of
resolve in the final episode. And talking about runtime, I think you read a report somewhere. I don't remember where you read it.
It's not good. It's going to be kind of short.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. I was hoping they hit 56, 57 minutes, and I think it's in the 47s.
And I'm kind of bummed.
So yeah,
I wanted more of this episode to be longer, to explore all these different things. Yes. Because while they're on the ship of going to the afterlights, to the gates of Osiris, I think, you saw all these souls, and they were talking about, and it was Towerette that was saying all of these souls that were being ended before their time. And that really gives us this feeling that there are so much stuff that's already going on the outside world, in the living world, that they have freed.
Yes.
Amit. Amit, thank you. I can never get her name right.
Let's see here. There's a couple of you guys saying the same thing in the chat. My eyes are trying to catch them. Luca says, maybe the scales balance because not Mark or Steven are aware of Jake. I thought maybe it's because they needed the third personality to balance this. Because notice that the scale only balanced after what happened with Steven. Also another heart-wrenching moment. So was it because of the trauma that they found out the truth? Mark let Steven see, because Towerette said you got to go explore and stop hiding things from each other. You got to find out. And is it kind of like that healing trauma? Thank you guys so much for your super chat. Gonna get to it in 2 seconds, you guys. Thank you so much. Is it because of that, or I don't know. So we can speculate about that a little bit. But I just want to say, y'all, this scene right here. Oh. This is what got me crying. That, and when she pulled the belt off of the wall, I knew exactly. I understand the loss of a child. I don't understand, but I've seen it, and I can empathize with that. And there is indescribable kind of a pain and emptiness that can't be filled. But I don't think it justifies beating up your other child. Yeah.
In a sense, you are kind of losing 2 children.
Well, and also she, it looked like she went down a spiral, and she, I think, was just very distant. She probably was drinking a lot. She probably turned to alcohol.
There was that moment to where she had a glass of liquor in one hand and then the bottle to refill it in the other, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, but that scene got to me because the second she picked up the belt, I feel like it gave me a little bit of, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you. A little bit of, as a caveat, let me just say this up front, my parents were not abusive, okay? But have I been smacked with a belt? Yes. And that is, so just taking that experience, but going into a less from a disciplinary side of things, and going like looking at it from like a straight up abuse, that is just awful. And which is where we saw Stephen, the altar was created to, and it broke my heart. I think I cried a lot during that scene because I've never seen a Marvel show go that dark as far as like child abuse goes.
Yeah.
It's never been, I don't think it's been shown really in a Marvel show or movie.
And there's more that I want to add to this, but first let's get to our super chats.
Okay.
Because I want to get into some of these questions.
The first one comes from Jay
Thank you so much,
Thomas.
Jay.
Thank you. Jay says, "Hey guys, I really hope there will be a season 2 of Moon Knight. I would love to see more Egyptian deities. Do you think? Sorry, my eyes. Do you think we will see any in the last episode with their avatars? I think that's possible.
Yes.
I think that's possible.
I really do think that we're going to get some kind of conversation, some kind of interaction with either with the avatars or the deities themselves. Because now that we're kind of going...
Or the ancestral plane?
Yeah.
Even?
Because
Panther?
that's exactly where all of them are hiding right now. And we still have to free... Khonshu. So... we still have to see where they're trapped, where all of these other gods have been trapped, and where, in a sense, Ammit has been... Ammit. Names. Ammit has been trapped as well. So I really do hope that we start seeing some of the other gods.
Yes.
I love the fact that we saw Taweret.
Yeah, I know. I would like to see more, especially in an earlier episode we got to see their avatars. So definitely would like... I don't need to see all of them if they don't have... Then that's why I worry about the runtime. It's because of the short runtime, are they going to try to cram everything in? So that makes me a little weary. But yes, I do think in the last episode we will get... Even if it's just a quick scene, like final scene, I think we will get to see that.
Yes.
Hopefully. So Jay, thank you so much for your super chat, and I hope that answers your question. The next one comes from Anthony Solis. Thank you so much, Anthony. Anthony writes, "This episode was wild." Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I loved it.
Yes, so many emotions and wow moments for sure. And Mark finally becoming Moon Knight, oh yes, was something I was excited for. Let's talk about that.
I love it too, yeah, because this whole time we've been wondering, okay, is it the fact that Mark had these personalities before meeting Khonshu, or was he on the verge of it, and it was this traumatic event that made him create these alternate personalities? In the comic books, that is actually, from what I've heard, the way it is.
And it's the artwork where he's leaning up against the statue too. It's almost like that shot was very much inspired by that panel.
Mm-hmm. So I really do like the fact that Khonshu chose Mark because of his psyche. That gives it just another layer of just how not good of a person Khonshu, or good of a entity Khonshu is. The fact that even Steven was like, he's been manipulating you from the start.
Yes.
And I'm just like, it is so much more powerful. It is so much more, it adds so much more depth. And I loved that moment. I think that was so well played out and so well delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot. This is call this the soul searching episode.
Yes,
for sure. Because even just going back to before we get to Theodore's super chat there, this scene right here, heartbreaking, got me to cry for the 500th time, where he actually did kind of in a way show up to his mother's Shiva, but was unable to, just couldn't bring himself to go inside. And just like that, acting without speaking, and if you do it correctly, I think it's really incredible. And I think Oscar Isaac definitely showed it to us there. Just the internal struggle, all the pain that he's endured and the trauma that he's endured during his childhood, and also the pain of losing it's your mother. You know, you had hope for that loving relationship between him and her, and it also showed that, you know, as a younger child, he left. His dad is like, well, get her help, and he was just like, I can't take this. It's not healthy for me to live there. But while he's kneeling on the floor, just like sobbing, pounding the pavement, makes the switch from Mark to Steven, and Steven going, oh, I don't know where I am again. Hi, Mom, and leaves her another message. Here's what I wanted to ask you guys, though. Do you remember when we met Layla and they went back to Steven's loft? And he, you know, obviously she's meeting him as Steven. She's very confused. And he mentioned, I've been talking to my mom. And Layla said, have you guys reconciled? Or something like that.
I don't think she knows.
So
that
I
she's
don't
dead.
think she know. Yeah, I don't think Mark's been 100% like forthcoming about, you know, his relationship with his. So I'm curious about that. Let me know what you guys think of that. That was back in episode 3 or 2.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think of that. Should we go ahead and go to the next?
The final super chat.
Oh wait, also this. Couple of you guys are saying this. About the scale being balanced. Kevin Lopez. I saw the balancing of Anubis' scales, not because he lost Steven, but because Mark finally came to reconcile and confront his past and trauma because he suppressed those memories.
Yes. And he refused to address them.
Yeah.
No, I really believe that,
which is why the character, in a way, when he unfortunately fell and it was turned into sand, and that's when this was a sad, very sad scene as well. I was like, what is this? Just cry the entire time. Like, I really enjoyed Steven. I think I'm gonna miss that character a lot. Okay, so.
Oh, and one quick thing. Noah, the Simpson reference in the episode was pretty funny. When Steve was talking about the mustache on Harrow. That's very Ned Flanders. I loved that, because when I looked at him again after he said that, I was like, oh my God, he does look like Ned Flanders.
Because it's a Fox property, so he can mention it. They mentioned
the glasses,
Simpsons,
the haircut, the mustache,
Avatar, the blue people, and Avatar, the animation.
I thought that was hilarious.
Well done, even though Avatar anime is Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do also have our final super chat.
From Theodore Harris. Theodore, thank you so much. Theodore says, so, if T'Challa was able to refuse to stay in the ancestral plane in Black Panther to stop Killmonger, could Mark refuse to stay in the Field of Reeds to stop Harrow?
Honestly, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be like, I can't stay here. I need to get out. I need to go and stop this. And he then goes, and either Khonshu comes and grabs him because Layla frees him. Oh, because Layla's there. Layla knows that Khonshu needs to be rescued. So she can do it, or...
She could do it.
They could find a way to do it in the realm that they are in right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to point out... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and that's also a moment to where we might see some of the other gods. Because he's in the field of reeds. So... Osiris or some of the other gods, he might be able to talk and kind of be like, I can't stay here. If you guys don't let me out, and to solve this problem that does very much concern you, we're all in big trouble. And then that's when they release him, and they might even release Khonshu.
There was also that one Avatar, and her deity is the of love and music. She was quite helpful when they had their first initial meet. So I wonder if that could be the case again. Like, if we see anybody, if we only see maybe just one Avatar, it could be her.
Yeah.
But that's, again, speculation. But yeah, I think that's absolutely possible that he can, find a way to not stay in the Field of Reeds. Speaking of the Field of Reeds, and I think we saw this, I think I saw it on a TikTok, but going back to the earlier episodes, I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3, but it's somewhere in Steven's loft, because we have the fish tank. First, we have the girl in the museum that he had ran into, and she said, I see that you didn't make it to the Field of Reeds. So there was an interesting Easter egg there. And also in the fish tank, there was the pyramid, plus the boat. The boat's literally in the fish tank, just like little hints, little Easter egg, little foreshadow maybe. I found that very, very interesting. There is... Oh, no, there was...
Oh, did
okay.
it bump all the way down again?
Theodore says this because we're talking about what he said to... She's like, did you reconcile with your mother? It's really important for Theodore to point out here, so I want to bring this to everybody's attention. Theodore says the mom died within 2 months, in which he left Layla and become exclusively Steven.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot how, like, it wasn't that long ago. It was, and so that actually makes total sense that she would have known that he's had a very difficult past with his mom, and she thought that maybe, oh, you're talking again. That means you must have reconciled. So she doesn't know that his mother has passed away because it was all this whole Moon Knight thing was happening.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Layla doesn't even know about what happened with his brother. And the fact that, my mom was abusive. Mm-hmm. I think it was just along the lines of, oh, we don't talk.
It could be.
I think that's all he ever left it at. So when Steven says, I've been talking to my mom, oh, did you two get back? Did you two start talking again?
Yeah. Nilo says, that little girl was Mephisto. It was Mephisto all along.
No!
Mephisto strikes again. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be more interesting there. Let's see. Any other things you wanted to touch on before we go into the chat?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one thing that I did want to talk, deep dive a little bit more into was the idea of all of these different other planes that are crossing over.
Yes.
From the plane that they are on in this one, the Egyptian one, to the ancestral plane, to the fact that we could get some hints of Valhalla. And that's why in Thor Ragnarok, when Thor was able to actually finally talk to Odin, it was because he was in this middle realm of Valhalla. He hasn't, well, not yet in Valhalla, but the purgatory version of Valhalla. So I am just dying to see this realm expanded, because that's pretty much where we're going in Doctor Strange. So, I mean, I think Doctor Strange just has the potential to just blast this whole different realm wide open. Yeah.
And speaking of Doctor Strange, and I can't remember who asked it. I don't know if it was Muhammad or somebody. Bless you. I don't remember who it was, but they mentioned, do you think this is going to... whatever we get to see at the last episode of Moon Knight could lead also into a little bit of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's very possible. And again, the dates and timing could be purely coincidental, right? Because let's not forget, like, COVID and all that stuff shifted a lot of stuff. So it could be purely coincidental, or it could be planned. I don't know. But, episode... Oh, yep. Okay, hold on. Hold that thought. We are going to see episode 6, the finale, on May 3rd, 4th, because it's technically Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
After midnight. So May 4th, Doctor Strange comes out, technically in theaters, May 6th. So potentially there could be a little bit of crossover. I guess we will find out a little if it does happen. And if it does, we are not going to tell you because we don't think that's fair. And we want you to be as surprised as we were if this is the case. But we're going to the premiere for Doctor Strange on Monday, so
I'm so excited.
We might be able to just spoil a little bit of like episode 6 for us, maybe potentially. And it's again, that's if they do that. And again, these dates, the timing and everything could be coincidental, but we like to put our tinfoil hat on for Mephisto and all that stuff. So maybe there is a tiny little bit of crossover.
Mm-hmm. But also another thing on what T.Y. Smith did mention, that other plane that Thanos was in when he used the Soul Stone.
Yo!
Or when he got the Soul Stone. That's another plane of existence. That also, something that got really skipped over or glazed over in Endgame, that when the Hulk snapped, he probably also went there as well. So I'm really curious. If they're going to explain that as well in Multiverse of Madness, or they're just going to wait. But also, who was it? Someone said that these MCU shows
who
technically
are
don't...
you blocking?
Huh? Oh, I wasn't. I just accidentally clicked the button. Clicked it. I didn't block anyone. Okay. But that the MCUs kind of have to have a proper conclusion. You see, a lot of these shows can kind of leave, I guess, on a big sort of cliffhanger, and it does get picked up through the different shows that they're going to bring it out, or different movies that are coming out. These storylines can be continued. They can be left on cliffhangers. There's so many different possibilities for the ending of Moon Knight that it makes it very exciting to just speculate to the ends of the earth on what's going to happen. Because they all could be right, they all can be wrong. You never know.
You never know. I want to go to the comment section real quick, or the chat, should I say. Kevin Lopez says, all afterlives do exist in Marvel, like the comics. Nirvana, Valhalla, Hades, Elysium, the Duat. Is that how you say it? Duet?
Not 100% sure.
She said it in the show, but I can't remember how exactly to pronounce it, so I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. I lost Kevin's comment. Field of Reeds, Purgatory, Ancestral Plane, etc. Just a matter of what comes first, depending on story. I believe it. And that's, again, it's the story, the artist's, it's Marvel and the storyteller's choice whether or not they want to connect them. But I think they've left some breadcrumbs to the fact that they can connect, especially, we'll see what happens in the multiverse movie. And then Nicholas Garcia says, you guys got to get over the fact that MCU shows don't need to have sorry, I'm squinting because I can't see. Have a proper conclusion. These are ongoing stories that connect. There's too many things happening. I'm getting text messages left and right. You guys got to get over the fact that MCU shows don't need to have a proper conclusion. These are ongoing stories that connect to other projects. I don't think it's something that, like, oh, you got to get over it. I think it's just we have fun speculating. It sounds like we're stuck on it, but we're not the kind of fans that are like, I can't believe they did this. I'm never watching another show again. Like, we just like to have fun chit-chatting and speculating. And if it goes one way and it goes one way, and then that's because that's how it's going to exist.
Well, that's also kind of how humanity is in general. It's like, we like having our stories wrapped up in a nice little ball so we can have, so this is it. Look at the story. It's amazing. But, sorry, I got a little carried away there. But the whole idea of having a nice conclusion, to have things kind of wrapped up nicely, is something that we do naturally kind of desire. To have that nice little what is that called? Narration of a story. But yeah, you're right. We don't have to have that. Yeah. There is so many more stories coming out. This story could be concluded in Blade. This could be continued in Doctor Strange.
Werewolf by Night in October.
It could be.
Which is, I think, in the comics, where that's actually where a lot of people was first introduced to Moon Knight.
I think so,
I think. But please let me know if we are incorrect in that.
So we might get the conclusion later on.
Yeah.
Sooner or later we'll get it. Yeah. But it might not be next Tuesday night. So, but I'm excited to see what they do. I want them to reveal Jake, or at least give him a formal introduction by the end. If
there's anything that I want out of the entire Moon Knight series, is that it's not even a want because I know it's going to happen. I just can't wait to see where he's going to, when we're going to see him next. Whether if it's an appearance in Werewolf by Night, a lot of you guys are saying Midnight Suns, or in whatever his own title movie in the MCU. That's really all I want, because I am loving this character. I'm loving what Oscar Isaac is doing for this character, and I would like to see more of Moon Knight. That really is all I want.
Just how tragic and just how well developed they're now starting to make him. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of Oscar Isaac. And you don't get an actor like Oscar Isaac and just give him one series. But we haven't heard anything about a season 2 for Moon Knight. We haven't heard.
I think it's just a one-off.
Yeah,
they're calling it a limited series, which makes it a one season. I believe. And again,
I think Loki's the only one. Someone mentioned it. That's what I'm saying. Loki is the only one that has had an announcement.
Yep.
A formal announcement. Who said that in the chat? But if
somebody said it in the chat. We're losing it because there's so many things going by.
But whoever it is, it's because of you are mentioning this. Thank you so much. But yeah, so far Loki's the only one I think that has that's had a formal season 2 announcement. Oh nope, I am wrong. What if? What That's right.
That's a great series
AJ,
as well.
thank you
yes,
so
thank
much
you,
for that.
AJ. Yes, and then Ty Smith says yes, it is a limited series. Theodore has a theory. It's not coincidental that Moon Knight, Multiverse of Madness. Sorry, I was gonna say Mom because he wrote Mom, but I knew it was an acronym. All right, and Thor 4 are all coming out consecutively. Gods, and more gods, and God Butcher.
I'm the God Butcher.
Oh no, I lost his comment. This happens a lot, guys, when I don't have my glasses on, or with my glasses on. Can't wait to see what happens with Gore the God Butcher, which I don't believe has shown up in any of the promotional material yet.
No.
Yet, but yes, this is gonna be. I am so excited for the finale of the show. I'm so excited for what we're gonna see in Doctor Strange. I'm really excited for what Marvel is serving up, and I can't wait.
Serve us up some more, Marvel.
Yes. Yeah. Rambo Ron says Oscar has been saying he's only signed up for one season. Because all the rest are movies. And when you sign a deal like this, though, with a big franchise, whether it's DC or Marvel, you're, for the most part, signing on for multiples. And I know we had like a news report saying that they're going to change that because, streaming is now a thing, and prior they were just signing multiple movie deals. Like Elizabeth Olsen signed 7?
Yeah.
7, I don't know, 7 years or 7 movies?
I think
7 years is a long time.
They're changing it up on how exactly they do that. Oh, thank you to whoever subscribed.
Oh.
You meme. UT. Oh, sorry.
You'd meme.
Okay.
UT meme, I think.
UT
Thank you
meme.
so much for subscribing.
Meme.
Again, you guys put some popcorn emojis in the chat to
Woo!
welcome our latest subscriber. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and put some of that up too.
I can put popcorn in.
Popcorn.
I like popcorn. Now I want to get some popcorn.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. But I want to get real popcorn. I don't want to make microwave popcorn.
It's not as fun.
No, it's not. I want to go to the movie theater and get some movie theater popcorn, or at least, God, I just want Disneyland popcorn.
Disneyland popcorn is the best. We always get Disneyland popcorn when we go there. Okay, so that kind of brings us to, unless we're missing anything else, and feel free to put that down in the chat. I think this is it for Moon Knight. When we come back for episode 6, obviously we're gonna see what happens in the pyramid. Somebody asked a very legitimate question: could we see Layla as Moon Knight for a hot second?
Oh. I saw that real quick in the chat too.
Can't remember who said it.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not a big Moon Knight comic book aficionado, so I don't really know. I don't know if that happens in the comic book, if the mantle of Moon Knight gets passed on to someone else. I know, isn't it his... Oh no, that's what it was. In the comic books, it's his brother that takes on the mantle of Shadow Knight, or Shadow Moon.
So his
Moon
brother
Shadow.
didn't die in the
comic books, no.
Oh, I gotta read
I think it was his brother that takes on the mantle of Moon Shadow.
Move the Carousel was the one with the Layla comment.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, someone put in the chat, what exact is it? Moon Shadow or Shadow Moon or something like that? But like I said, I just saw it on the.
The Watcher says no. Shadow Knight is a villain, not a hero.
Well, I know, but it's his brother, right? Shadow Knight is actually Mark's brother.
So he's fighting against his own brother?
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna do a quick Google.
So, but like I said, I just saw it on the real quick. They mentioned it on New Rockstar, and I was like, "What? I did not know that. That's awesome."
Yeah.
So I like the little changes that are going on.
Randall Specter. Mm-hmm. Thank you, chat. Faster than my Google. Well, he looks sick. Oh my gosh.
The costume for Shadow Knight is really cool.
Look at that,
Very
guys.
intimidating.
Hold on,
evade. I don't know if you can really see it now. Kind of, sort of.
Wait, don't come back up. I'm gonna try to.
I'm sorry.
Focus. All right, fine. Never mind. You guys have Google.
You guys have Google. You can look it up. I'm excited for this. Honestly, with Moon Knight, with Doctor Strange, with Thor: Love and Thunder, there's so much Marvel goodness coming out. I cannot contain just how excited I am for everything.
Yes.
And then we also have Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan. We have Kenobi coming. Is it Kenobi? Obi-Wan?
It's the full name.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm excited for that to come out. So there's just a lot of stuff. that it's great to be a nerd.
Yeah, it is a good time to be a nerd, guys. Well, that is it for today's live stream, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, talking all the theories, all the Easter eggs, our thoughts and feelings and tears while watching episode 5 of Moon Knight. And of course, we will continue to do, we have one more live stream coming up to talk all things spoilers. I'm going to try to get a guest for that one, but we'll see, depending. I have somebody in mind. Really depends on their schedule, so no promises, which is why I'm not even revealing who it could be, because I literally have not reached out to this person yet. But we will see. But nonetheless, we will have a reaction for episode 6 of Moon Knight. We will be doing a non-spoiler review of Doctor Strange when Embargo has lifted, and non-spoiler means, just to give you guys a quick explanation, major plot twist points and like special appearances by the people, like, we're not going to talk about that, so it probably will be a very short review. But also, if we see things in the trailers, and this means the 2 major trailers, or the 3 major trailers, we don't really consider that spoiler. So if you haven't watched any of the trailers, then maybe you just stay away from any and all reviews, because like we feel like those images have been shown, therefore they don't really count as spoilers. But we can't protect you from everything, guys.
We try our hardest.
We try our hardest, but like we gotta have something to talk about. So okay, and then yeah, Chris says starting Monday I'm gonna stay offline. I remember when
do that.
The Force Awakens came out, I actually turned off. You can do this on social media. On Twitter, you can mute keywords, and you can mute all of those. For No Way Home, I did that. For The Force Awakens, I did that, just so I wouldn't, just in case see it. But then it's counterproductive because I worked in entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like we had
stuff.
to know about it in order to like work on. Anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed our discussion today. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to help us gain more visibility here on YouTube. We've just crossed, I think, 56,000 subscribers. We'd love to get to 75,000 and then 100,000. So subscribe if you can. At least, at the very least, hit that thumbs up button. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to stay hydrated. And we will see you on Wednesday for May the 4th, you guys. All right. We'll talk to you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Latest Gators.
Latest Gators.